Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back, or welcome to the Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky, and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or live feeds, simply take what resonates, and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. Good morning, happy Friday. I'm very grateful to see Friday, and I'm very grateful that we've had a little bit of sunshine the last 2 days. So here we are. I am going to jump right into Ask the Medium questions. I came on a minute or two early to kind of grab as many as I can. I just want to talk just for a minute about the energy for the weekend, because it's intense. The energy is intense. I'm sure many of you are feeling it. Stand up tall is what spirit is really pushing us to do. Stand up tall, speaking your truth, seeking truth, clarity. There's a lot that's unraveling all around us, and stay together. Spirit was very adamant with that, with stay collective, stay together, stay in your heart space. That is going to be a big thing for the next week or so, is really stay together. Dreams are those of you who are having some wild dreams are a thing. If you haven't experienced it yet this week, they are rolling in for the weekend. So just kind of make sure that you're doing some journaling before bed. Our thoughts are kind of wild right now with uncertainty and the collective energy. Dreams are going to be wild. So if you can give yourself some time to either ground or meditate or journal, this weekend would be a great thing to do to help with the dreams. We process when we're sleeping, and a lot of these dreams are going to be exactly that, processing while we're sleeping. So do yourself a little bit of a favor and let yourself journal or let go, or cleanse your energy, whatever works for you. Do that. Let's grab some questions here. It's good to see you guys, by the way. Jasmine, hi Lana. Good morning. Happy Friday. Which relative in my family had my spiritual gift of mediumship? um, Number one, Jasmine, I just want to say that we all have connection with the spirit dimensions. Some of us develop it more than others, but I truly believe that we all have a connection, and a spiritual gift with connecting to the spirit dimensions. It's always there for all of us. I'm really pushed back like 3 generations, that I feel like it was like, I don't want to use the word started, but I feel like it was like initiated. I feel like it was like talked about. I feel like it was like shared, and I feel it was like supported. And I need to go to like a mother figure, so great grandmother. And I feel like it was handed down and supported through her energy, and she still supports that now from the spirit dimensions. She's very much supportive and holding and teaching and guiding. But I also feel like a few other ancestors around you. There's also something, Jasmine, that connects to a cousin energy, and I do feel like they have passed. So it could be like a second or third or even a fourth cousin. I feel that energy there as well, kind of coming in to support you in your own development. Aaron, this week has been stressful. The energy has been very stressful, very chaotic. I myself have pulled myself into more and more grounding and more cleansing of my energy fields. And a lot of that is, some of it's personal, and some of it, there's a collective side to it, because we are impacted by the collective energy. Let's see where we go here. Oops, there goes my wildness with my mouse. Manny, good morning, Lana. Worried about my little sister. Anything from spirit? Mandy, I feel like reach like hand out to kind of help her along, and I'm not quite sure if she's either willing or ready. Maybe it's a readiness to fully grab on. I feel like I'm holding back a little bit, and I don't know if she's also not speaking exactly how she's feeling, because I feel a very emotional side that I want to tap into with her. I do feel that she's navigating this the best that she can, and I need to kind of like acknowledge that with her. So I don't know if she struggles with that inner self piece, but I feel like I've got to say to her, you're doing the best that you can, and we're navigating this, and just try and, you can't force people to embrace support, but I feel like I've got to offer it up just a little bit more, or from a few other people. I do feel though, a little bit turbulent, but I feel like there is kind of like that calmness that's kind of entering and holding and supporting. Fran, wild dreams. Yep. Wes, any messages from spirit? Um, Wes, have you been trying something new? I feel like I've got a push to kind of like try something new. It can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be a big thing, but I feel like, I don't know if you're bored, or if you're just not having that same motivation that you had previously. But I feel like I've got to say, dive into something new. It can be a new topic you want to research or look up. It can be a new spiritual practice. I feel like I've got to bring like a new energy, a new just something new to you. I get something new. It can be, I know it's gonna sound funny, Wes, but it can even be like a new pair of socks. It's like I need something new. I don't know if you're like same old kind of, if you're feeling that way, but I feel like I've got to say, try something new. Cynthia, good morning. My husband left since Wednesday, and I don't know why or if he's okay. I'm really feeling my head, Cynthia. So I don't know if he's been um it feels more like the thoughts. It feels more of a fog. It feels more I do feel he's okay. Like I feel him very much here and processing. But I feel like I'm trying to navigate through thoughts. I feel like I'm trying to make sense. I feel like I'm so up and down. Like I feel very up, very down, very up, very down. Energetically that's what it feels from like for me. I feel like I've got to kind of send out the energy of support. And he knows he's supportive, but I've got to kind of like send it out and hold him in it. And if you want me to, Cynthia, I'm happy to also send that out. Mila, does my aunt have any messages for me? Um, Mila, your heart space is incredibly glowing, and I feel that she's saying that let that be expansive to those that are around you. So I don't know, Mila, if you've been struggling with people with accepting you, or just struggling overall with people who you may not be as supportive. I feel like I've got to just expand it energetically, just expand that out. Just like I feel like it's almost like you. I don't know if you're taking things really personal or if there's something there with the personal aspect, but just kind of in your truth and shine bright. Maruna, any messages from my cat Kira? She's very much okay. She wants you to stop worrying. There's this, and she almost like frowns at me. Just stop worrying. She's very much okay, always around, connecting with you always, will continue to guide and help, but she's just like, stop worrying. And so I don't know if worry's been amplified for you or if you just worry about her or worry about all cats, but she's like, stop worrying. You're doing incredible. Shy, I'm excited and a little nervous for Sunday. I'm going to perform for the first time in 5 years, the longest I've ever gone without performing. Wow, Shy. Well done. Well done. How exciting. How exciting for you. I also feel, Shy, remember to bring that playful energy. If you're a little nervous, a little, or if you're feeling like you're a little rusty or dusty, bring in that playful energy. Stay in having fun with this. Stay in the embracing. Just stay in your passion. And I love this for you. I love this for you. So well done, Laura. I've been working so hard on healing my inner child, and wonder if Spirit had any advice to go deeper into the healing. So Laura, I feel you very much ready to go deeper. And I feel that you're doing a great job with your healing. I also feel that the space that you're at with the healing, I feel like there's just a little bit more of that. Like, I feel like there's just a little bit more, a little like nurturing yourself a little bit more, allowing that healing just a little bit more. I feel that spirit's going to guide you deeper. Um, I'm not quite sure on the timeline. It feels close, but it's like I've got to kind of like wrap up the healing that I'm currently doing. I just feel like there's just a little bit more there, and spirit's going to take you deeper. I feel like you'll feel it come up. I felt like I almost had like an acid reflex response to it. I feel like you'll have that next layer come up, and you'll know, okay, here's that next layer. Now I'm ready to go deeper. I also feel, Laura, I feel like I've got to like hold myself more, like holding that inner child more may help, nurturing her just a little bit more. Play is a great way to connect to our inner child, and I feel like you're gonna have this knowing. It literally feels like an acid reflex to me. You're gonna have this knowing of, okay, there's the next layer. I'm ready to go deeper now. If that makes sense there to you, Laura. And well done. Inner child work, can be quite intense. I guess intense is a good word. Casey, good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful Casey. Shai, what does spirit want to give me any messages? So I feel it's more of a compliment that I need to give you. I need to give you a compliment for all the work that you're doing, the spiritual work, the healing work, the physical world work, staying I feel like you're really, staying true to yourself. And I feel like you've had to fight for that. Like I feel you've had to really honor who you are and really stand up even firmer in your truth. And I feel like I've got to really applaud. Like it's like it's tough sometimes when people don't understand us. It's tough sometimes when we're struggling to understand ourselves. And I feel like you've been really doing a good job navigating through that. So it's more of a compliment than a message. I've got to compliment you. Well done with it, with honoring all of who you are. I feel like it's almost like you've really had this. Screw it. I'm just gonna. I don't care. I'm just gonna embrace who I am and keep on keeping on. That's kind of how it feels there. So good job, PJ. I think I'm ready for the move into my own home. Do you see this soon? And will Lola Cat be there? She's 20 years old. Oh wow, Lola Cat. Um, move. PJ. It can be a bit of a hard one to tap into because there can be choice and free will involved in that too, right? So there's that piece. I do feel very much that you're ready to move in. I feel like I've got to expand my search just a little bit more. Like when you're looking for your home, I just kind of got to like just a bit. I need to kind of like branch out just a bit. And with Lola Cat, I mean, even if she's here or there, she's coming with you. So because I felt a little bit uncertain. It's going to depend on how long it takes you to find that home, right? So, I feel that either way, she's coming with you, whether she's physical world or spirit dimensions. She will definitely be there. Uh, Lana loves fawns. Oh, I love that. Hello, does spirit have any messages for me and what path I should take for my relationship? Okay. So as far as path, I feel like you're on your path and you're navigating your path. And I feel like everybody else, our path has twists and turns. And I've talked about this at length before. I feel like even if we kind of take the long way around, we're still on our path. Right. So I feel you're very much on your path and navigating. I also feel like I need to ask you, um, are you are you really happy? Are you really happy? They just brought forward that question. If the answer is yes, then navigating this relationship from the power of now. Right now. I mean, and with people and relationships, we have so contracts with people. Sometimes they're very short, sometimes they're very long. There's also choice and free will with people, and people make choices that change our relationships. And I'm really pushing to the power of right now with that question. Are you happy right now? Relationships have moments where things may be difficult. We're working through things, but there should still be that happy foundation and that solid foundation. So I've got to kind of like give that back to you with, are you happy right now, and trusting that power of right now. I also feel, and and this may be your own energy that I'm picking up. I also feel that there's this energy of we may be taking two different paths or going in two different directions. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship is over. It just means that you both need to kind of honor yourselves with what you need. Sometimes we forget, I guess is a nice word to use. Sometimes we forget that we can be very much individual in a relationship, whether that be an intimate relationship or friendships. And sometimes we have to, even though we may stay together, the friendship or the relationship may stay together, we've got to allow people to explore on their own. And I've really worked hard on that probably the last 20 years of my life, to making sure that I'm always, even people can, journey beside me, and they can go on their own path, and we're still here for each other, to support each other and to love each other. But really, I gotta do me, and you gotta do you. And that doesn't mean that we can't stay together or we can't maintain the friendship. It just means we've got to give each other space. And I feel like there's something there. Lana loves fawns. That it's almost like I need to put like a little bit of space. It doesn't mean an ending. It means like I just need a little bit of, I'm gonna go over here and do me. You do you, and we'll meet in the middle. That's kind of how that feels there. So I don't know if there's been some life lessons there where, it's like it's almost like people attached to you like on a sidecar. That's how they're showing it to me, like this sidecar. And it's like, no, people have got to drive their own spiritual journey and not necessarily latch on. So have you seen repeat lessons with people that are like they're, I don't want to use the word they're too connected, but maybe too dependent, or maybe they're just always kind of like, like with the sidecar. As really, I don't think spirits ever showed me that as a sidecar, right? People can drive beside you, but they can't have that sidecar. Okay. uh Tammy. I mean, I don't know if you've been dancing or you need to dance. I know, I just feel like it's like I need to move that lower half, like my hip area, and it's more of an energy flow. I feel like I've got to get the energy going. So I just feel like I've got to like move my hips, and I've just got to kind of like with that solar plexus area, and like I just kind of, and right down to my feet. I just feel like I need to kind of like move that, and I feel like it's moving the energy. So I don't know if it's kind of been like wash, rinse, repeat kind of week for you, or if you've just been kind of like, sitting still too much. But I feel like I've got to say, moving, and it can just literally be in your kitchen, Tammy. It doesn't have to be out in the club. But I feel like I've got to kind of like move energy a little bit. I keep saying like move the energy, move the energy. I hope that resonates there for you. Goddess of happiness. Any messages for me? I just got kind of like pulled out of a little bit of overthinking. So I don't, has there been something that's been kind of overthinking, or because I feel like I just have to say, just go for it and don't overthink it. Like it's almost like I've got to like leap. I feel like I need to just like, I'm just gonna leap. We're always, not just you, but I think as humans, we're always a little nervous of what if it's the wrong decision, and what if you're feeling pulled. And I also feel, Goddess of happiness, I feel like your intuition has really, really sharpened up. Like I just feel like I've got to say, trust your intuition, and whatever it is that's coming at you that's new, or you're uncertain, to just sit with it a little bit longer, and poke your head out and say, what is that scratching at me? Dee Dee, good morning. Axel is still with us. Some days better than others. It's a loving energy I feel around him. So I don't feel he's in pain, just tired. What do you see? Or what do you feel? Um, I do feel the, Dee Dee, like I will agree with you that there's not a lot of pain, but I do feel a little bit discomfort. I don't feel terrible, but I do feel a little bit discomfort. I also feel like he's very much preparing people around. Someone that's around him is, I don't, and I get it. When we love our, our fur babies, it's really hard to get our headspace in that time. So I just feel like he's preparing. I feel like you're doing very well with one day at a time. I also feel, when you're really gonna know, like I feel like he's gonna tell you, okay, I'm good to go, and I feel like that's really close there, Dee Dee. Enjoy the moments, enjoy the magic. Jasmine, does my friend Elena any messages for me? Like when she was alive, did she love me as a friend or like me? Jasmine, I think that she shared her. I think that energetically, know that. I think that she very much loved you. It feels more like, it feels deeper than a friendship. It almost has that, feeling of, like that soulmate, or that, that twin flame kind of feeling. Even, you may have had lots of learning together, but I feel a very deep connection there. And I feel sometimes either she struggled with being able to always express that with words, but if you look at her energy, I feel like it was very, very strong, and that she showed you energetically. Okay. um Tracy, I'm really struggling with anxiety right now, feeling a lot of negative energy coming toward me from others. Do you feel this is me, or am I making things up? How can I best protect myself? Great question, Casey. Number one, I don't feel that you're wrong. I feel like you're there is negative energy around you, but I feel it's more of it's other people's stuff. I feel like I've got to say other people are going through their own stuff and they may not be coping as well and they may not be as patient or they may not be their best self, but it's because they're going through their own stuff and I feel like it has nothing to do with you. Like I really feel it's like I don't feel like you've done anything. I don't feel like, I just don't feel like you've got to apologize. I just feel like it's their stuff. It's their stuff. And sometimes when other people are going through their own stuff, we can personalize it. And that's how it feels there for me. I feel like I've just got to, and whatever resonates with you as far as protection, it's all intention anyway. You can visualize a ball of light around yourself, you can use a crystal, you can, kind of like release energy. I like to wipe stuff off that's not mine. You can ask yourself the big question, mine or not mine. Is it mine or not mine? Nope. I feel like you're around a lot of people that are struggling, and I think that you're just tuning into their frequency. So sending out love and light. We don't have to be as involved. I'm here if you need me. Kind of energy, protecting yourself energetically, and I protect myself energetically even around the most delicious people. I like to protect my energy fields. I just like to be, to not absorb other people's stuff. Um, and that's just a me thing. So whatever resonates with you, Casey, as far as protecting yourself, I don't feel like you're making it up. I feel like you're tuning in to stuff that's not yours. Okay. So I don't feel like you've done anything. Like I don't feel like I've got to kind of say, have some reflection there. I feel like it's not yours. And perhaps you take things really, really personal, or perhaps it's maybe a misread of other people's energy. We can misread other people's energy. Right. Very, very. Have you ever done it? Has somebody ever come up to you and said, "Oh, are you upset?" And you're like, "Oh, goodness, no." And they're like, "Well, you feel kind of agitated." And you have a think, and it's like, yeah, I've had a really crappy week, but I didn't realize energetically I was putting stuff out. We're not always energetically aware unless we check in with ourselves. How am I feeling? What frequency am I emitting? Because sometimes it's, and people can pick it up and it be misinterpreted. I'm not feeling agitated. I just had an agitated week, but energetically I'm emitting that, right? Frequency is a powerful thing. Right? Powerful thing. Um where was I? My little sister is on the street. Her husband has got her into drugs. He abused her. Okay. So, and now she's got brain damage. Worries me and feeling gut heavy. So probably why when I see Mandy, when I seen the hand reaching out and her not ready to take it, that you just gave me validation is why I seen that. There's an addiction issue there. I feel that even telepathically or energetically letting her know when she's ready for help, you're here. If you have a way of communicating, I would always kind of let her know I'm here. I'm here. I don't feel, we can't make people take our hand until they're ready. So when people are not ready to take my hand, I just remind them that it's there. It's here. It's here. It's here. Um, and it's tough when there's some cognitive stuff going on, right? With that brain damage, it may be tough. I also feel, Mandy, has she refused services? I feel like there's been some kind of refusal of services, either social work or any kind of services. I feel like she's been like refusing that. I would just continue to tap into her energy. I agree it does feel very heavy. There is a heaviness, when people are struggling with addiction. I mean, it's if that escalates, their safety is at risk, right? And on the streets, their safety is at risk. I would, do your best to send her protection and energy and embrace her in that. And I just don't feel like she's ready to take anybody's hand. And it's so tough when we can see things for people that they can't yet see for themselves, and they're just not ready, or perhaps can't. With sometimes with addiction, they just can't. The addiction is overruling their logical side. Thank you. Yep. Um, I'm worried for her to always be okay. She's always okay. Always okay. Easy Puff. Do you see my dad or anyone else succeeding in any kind of humiliation of me if I end up speaking out about certain things from my experience concerning this case I'm following? So easy puff, there's always, there's always a risk, and we can't always, predict other people's reactions or behaviors. I mean, it's, so, I feel a little bit sticky there. I really do. I do feel though that you are supported in speaking your truth. So you are support, and I feel that, when we speak our truth, there are people that are going to agree, disagree, deny, or accept. Right. And I also feel Easy Puff that you're doing it in a very kind way. It was in a very, like, I feel like you're doing it from a spiritual perspective with how you're speaking your truth. And again, you always have, you know, your own intuition and when you're ready to do that. Um, but I do have to kind of say, there may be people, and I don't feel it's just one. I feel it's more than one who may not be open to your truth. And and I feel, this is a very, very deep personal question, Easy Puff, for you. But I feel like if there's a way of you to speaking your truth, I feel like I need to say you're supported and held in that. Okay, I hope that makes sense there. Uh, Trich the Dish. Good morning. Any spirit info coming up from my family? Oldest son has health issues that haven't been found, or anything else that comes through. Which I really feel I feel sore and swollen, so I'm not sure if that's an inflammatory or, and again, I'm not a doctor, this isn't medical advice. It's just how I'm feeling. And I feel like I'm going to say this lovingly. I feel like they haven't necessarily taken a good look. Like I feel like they've just gone surface there, because I feel like I've got to push you a little bit to either get a second opinion or a referral somewhere else. And I don't know if it's, I feel like I'm tight. If that makes sense. I just feel that's just how my physical body feels. I'll wait for your validation there. If I'm interpreting that correctly. I just feel like there's this push on my back to, to keep talking, for him to keep looking, for him to, and I feel management. Like I do feel there's management there, like management of what's going on. Is I don't feel like I don't feel terrible with it. I feel like I've got to push you for another, it's more of another opinion, if that makes sense. Lana, that's the funniest thing that what's the funniest thing that nature ever did to you? When I was little, a mosquito thought it was funny to sting my eyelids. That wouldn't be fun, Wes. The funniest thing that nature ever did to me. Oh boy, Wes, that's a big one. I could probably sit here for an hour with some funny things. Okay, so I do a lot of releasing work in the forest, and I had done a release with my favorite old tree, um, and I had left something there. Okay, I'll tell you, it was a pine cone that was representing something that I was releasing. So it was probably about 2 or 3 days later. I went back into the forest and I went back to my tree, and the pine cone was gone, and it was very interesting because when I sat and did my meditation there, and then I continued on my hike, probably about a kilometer later, I found the pine cone, and the pine cone was being used by a bird. They're making use of it, and I had this aha moment that, even though we have had our experiences, and we let go, and it's part of our healing, our releasing serves a bigger purpose. And it was like an aha moment for me. This is several years ago, but it's always stuck with me. That it was a moment where I had let something go, because I like to use things to represent what I'm letting go. So I used the pine cone to represent what I'm letting go, and I let it go in the forest. And when I found it in a different location, I had this aha moment that experience had been very useful for me, even though it was hard, even though it was miserable, and even though it was heavy. I had used that to help myself, and it was quite the profound moment for me, with a little bit of humor. There we go. Great question. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you very much. That's what she said. Shy, wow, thank you. Yeah, I have to fight every day, and yeah, I've gotten to the I don't care anymore level. I love that. I love that. Okay, guys, I'm gonna grab a few more. I've got to really stay on time today. I do have a very busy day, so I'm just gonna grab some. Tabitha, hi Lana. Hope you're doing well. Are there certain spiritual practices or modalities that spirit thinks that would work better? I'm not sure what would be best. Tarot, crystals, pendulum, etc. So Tabitha, I feel like I've got to say, explore it all. Test taste it all. I'm pulled like I'm pulled more. I'm not quite sure if that pendulum doesn't resonate with you because I feel like I've got to kind of put that down. But I feel like I've got to say, explore yourself, explore what resonates with you. Spiritual practices, the word spiritual is a great big word. It's a great big word. And sometimes, you know what my spiritual practices are? I'm going to sit here with my cup of tea and just breathe. That can be a spiritual practice. And I feel like I've got to say, have fun with it. Get out and explore, feel what resonates with you, create your own. You could use angel cards one day, crystals the next day, a cup of tea the next day. You can use, you can use them. I feel like I've got to really magic it up. It's kind of like I really kind of feel like I've got to like get yourself a magic wand. It can be a pen, and I feel like I've just got to like get more really playful and experience, and just kind of tap into different things, create your own. I feel like you don't necessarily fit into things that may be traditional, and I feel like I've just got to say spiritual practices is whatever resonates with you. And our spiritual practices change, right? Like my spiritual practices change probably twice a year. It's like all of a sudden I realize, oh, I haven't done that in a while. I've been doing this, and it's not that I miss what I was doing before. I just needed something different. I needed to change it up. I needed a different flavor, right? It can be. I also feel like I've got to add a spice of life, Tabitha. Like I feel like I've got to say, even when you're cooking, you can add a pinch of a spice, to represent joy or gratitude or whatever resonates with you, and don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to explore. And I think that has been such a huge help for me because I don't fit in anything traditional anyway, and me personally, I don't like the same old. I like to change things up. So I feel like you're energetically, you feel like that, very similar to my energy, is you like variety and change, and I just feel like I've got to say, explore it, test taste it. It's all intention, it's all what resonates with you, it's very personal. Spiritual practices are very, very personal. And, I think sometimes, not all of us, but sometimes we get too caught up in gatekeeper energy where it has to be done like this and it has to be done like that. And you can only do it this way. And it's like, no, and sometimes we discover things. And I discovered one time, I love the moon energy and moon water. And one month I ran out of moon water. I didn't ration it. I didn't ration it properly. So what I did, I wasn't going to wait till the full moon. I thought, what else can I do to charge my water? I took my jar of water out to the forest, and I left it in the forest for the day. I went back and got it, and it was fully charged. I was like, wow, this is powerful. Maybe it just had an energy that I just love so much. Explore and create. Okay, yeah. I think it's so important that we always stay with what resonates for us. And it's like, here's how I say it to my students, and they always laugh every time. You wouldn't share a toothbrush with anybody, right? Well, unless you really had to, maybe. But overall, you wouldn't share your toothbrush. So that's kind of what our spiritual practices are. They're very personal, and you can do whatever you like whenever you like. All right. Laura, thanks so much, Lana. It definitely has been intense facing things from my childhood, thinking, wow, I went through that. I appreciate the boost to continue, and I will know as I progress. Absolutely. And I love that. And well done, Laura. Healing is a messy, messy, messy road. Nobody warned me, when several years ago when I first started my initial healing. Nobody warned me how snot nosed, uncomfortable, but ugly feelings that were going to come up, and how nobody warned me about that. Healing is a lot of work, and like you said, Lana, intense and feelings. But as we process it all, it's such an empowering, healing is so empowering. It just gives us back, it gives ourselves our energy back. All right. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have a few more. Elena, I've been feeling so homesick, nights full of wild dreams, and just generally feeling off kilter. Grateful to hear this message. We'll be staying off social media and spending more time outside. And, that is a really, really good thing to do. Watch, and even watch what you put yourself in line in, like, with social media, and always be ready. I even ground myself before I do any social media stuff, and I'm really careful. I only follow, like what I resonate with, and I tend to always kind of keep myself bubbled and protected, even with social media. Okay, I'm just looking for any validation here from a few things that I've said. And I know there's a lot of people that I haven't gotten to. Let me just see if I can grab someone who's new. Marlene, are you going to write a book soon? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'll be honest with you. I need to dedicate more time to my writing. And I chuckle because there's always a lot going on, and part of it is me creating it. It's, with workshops and working. I am working on my book, and I've also picked up a book that I started working on probably about 10 years ago. So I'm actually working on both of them. It is a slow road, and I'm okay with that. There's a lot that's unraveling for the Hawk and I. A lot of great things that I'm unraveling with the Hawk and I. But yes, I am working on my writing. Thank you. I don't feel happy right now. I feel numb and unsure about life currently, and I feel like I'm missing specific love that I need. Only a relationship can fulfill. I do hope I do hope it to be this one. Okay, so I also feel, Lana Loves Fawns. I also feel like I've got to just kind of poke you a little bit, just a little gentle poke, a little gentle poke to the relationship with yourself. Also needs just a little bit of TLC. I just needed to kind of get that. Ina, almost 3 weeks ago, we saved a 2-month-old cat, beautiful black little thing. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. It's not looking good. We're fostering him and waiting for his forever home. Wow, what a big heart, And there's a lot of gratitude there. I feel around that. Like, I just feel so grateful that it's you helping me out. And I do feel it won't be long with finding that forever home. Emilia, out west, what happened to my sister Chu? Okay, she's answering somebody. Um, Marlene, some new names here today. So if you're new here or returning back, welcome. Know that you're loved and supported and always welcome here. I have bought in some crystals. Some of your suggestions: selenite, rose quartz, black obsidian, hematite, tiger's eye. Thank you for the crystal information. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Ivory Snow, is there anything from my spirit team wants me to know? Ivory Snow, I just got a few. I'm not sure where I am. I'm pretty sure I'm with the Angelics. Is the month of March significant anniversary, birthday, or passing, or was there something significant in March that kind of shifted? The reason I ask is there's a new spirit guide that came in the month of March, this past March. So that's really recent. I feel like there's this free fall of trust. I just feel like you're doing so well with trusting, and I just feel like you've been trusting more and more. And I just feel like that trust muscle. I feel like I've been working out, and I just feel like I've got to say it's hard to trust and it's hard to kind of grow trust. And I just feel like I need to acknowledge that you're doing really well. And the spirit guide has come to you. I haven't heard a name yet on the spirit guide. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I feel like the spirit guide has come to help you with trusting and to help strengthen the trust. So for me, so there's got to be something energetically that's been kind of percolating that you've been having trouble trusting or been healing trust because you're supported in trusting yourself, trusting the universe, trusting your spirit guides. And I feel it like a building. Like, I feel like you're building something new here with learning to trust or trusting something new. Let me know if that resonates there. I didn't catch a name. Sometimes I don't. But just connect with that guide. Say thank you to the guide that's coming to help me trust more or learn to trust or heal that trust. There's a big supportive trust vibe going on there around you. Okay, I have to go, you guys. So let's grab the angel number book and let's grab the spirit animal book. Well, that's really interesting. Interesting thing just happened. So I have been looking I've been looking for this for a very long time. So it is it's an angel that I have not been able to find in quite some time. And I literally moved my journal that's beside my computer, and there she was. It's a citrine angel. I just moved. I even cleared this table off like 2 days ago. I cleared off my desk and did some cleanup, and she wasn't there. Isn't that interesting? Thank you. Thank you for returning her. Yeah, citrine. Yeah, citrine. Citrine is a really good manifesting crystal. It's got many other uses too. Shy, you can look it up. All right, what do we need to know? 325. The changes that you're making or considering have been guided by the wise and loving ascended masters. Whoops. You can walk along the path of healthy change with certainty that you are doing the right thing. There were a lot of questions this morning about doing the right thing. Am I on the right path? Interesting, eh? I want to do another one. I feel like I need to do another angel number. Do I have house? Do I have houses? Fairies? That's who brings my stuff back. Yeah, I've got some fairy houses. Yeah, for sure. 516. Another thing that changes. Interesting. The changes you're making combined with the positive approach and attitude will help you enjoy each day more. Hmm. Help me out. Set some intentions. What do we need as a collective to hear? There you go. You guys were a little slow. Heron, you've approached the opportunity before you at a leisurely pace, but now it's time to grab it and go for it with gusto. Here we are again, right? By meeting this challenging situation head on, you'll discover that you have some powerful gifts and skills that you are unaware of. Ooh, I love that. If one way isn't working, try another and don't get stuck in a single approach. We talked about that. Try new things, experiment, explore. Spend a day or two with no plans or agenda, guided only by your intuition, whether a day of activity or quiet reflection or a combination. Take full responsibility for your thoughts, feelings, and actions rather than blaming others or life circumstances. Great blue heron. Take time for self examination, reflecting on your goals, motivations, actions, feelings, and strengths and limiting beliefs. Only you know what's best for you. So following your inner wisdom and guidance rather sorry, I lost my spot. Only you know what's best for you. So follow your inner wisdom guidance rather than what dictates and pressures of others. All of which we talked about today. Right? Your path. Well, we got a birthday. Happy birthday. Shawnee, I love fairies. The rooms, oh, I love fairies too. I love citrine. I wear mine almost every day. I always have citrine in my pocket. Citrine's one of my favorite. It's also self-charging like selenite. Yes, it is very much so. Charging isn't the right word I'm meaning, but whatever. We know exactly what you mean. Actually, charging is not a bad word. They do recharge. Right? Okay. I'm really happy that it showed up. I literally cleaned up this entire desk looking for her. I must not have needed her until today. Um, I have something very exciting that I'm working on today, so that's why I was really hoping to bring her. So I guess she's meant to come along. Have a wonderful weekend. I haven't looked what Monday looks like. I'm pretty sure I'm here on Monday. And you'll notice my voice is healing. My allergies and not shouting at hockey rinks is really helping. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I will see you Monday morning. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided weekend. Take care, you guys.